Welcome to the final part of me watching Creepy Gaming. This will probably be the last part.
A well-discussed creepy legend of gaming,
And this video is...
Princess Daisy's Third Eye,
Yeah, that's what he said.
has sparked numerous discussions and theories. In early versions of Super Smash Bros. Melee, if the player enters the trophy room and zooms the camera in far enough, it will clip through her hair, revealing a third eyeball on the back of her head, hidden beneath the hair. There are a handful of speculations as to why this is here, from the simple explanation of just a character model error that was obviously fixed in later releases of the game, to the outlandish, such as an underdeveloped conjoined twin. One theory was taken so far as to be featured in the fighting game Mugen, where the creator invented the idea of the eye being a hidden weapon able to fire a laser. Regardless of the truth, the eye in itself is a quite creepy hidden glitch to stumble upon within the game.
Next video, this is so fast. So here's the Toy Maker entry 1. There's only 3 of them. Entry 1, entry 2, and final entry. So far. And...
I have stumbled onto an extremely obscure and disturbing game that has with it an equally mysterious and strange story. By way of a private message I was sent through YouTube, I was given a link to a creepypasta. Typically, I will read them, but they don't offer content for me to make a good study presentation of, as they typically lack sustenance and are nothing more than just a creepy story. This was not the case. Upon clicking the link, I was presented with a creepypasta with a Japanese title that translates to The Toy Maker, and is written out in fragmented and, at times, broken English. The entries read as follows. "3 years ago, I went to a thrift store, and I had found a Japanese game called On a Japanese Stall. I asked to the Japanese guy to translate the word, and he said, 'This is Toy Maker, a game for all the kids.' I decided to buy it for only $20, and 3 hours after I wanted to use the game, but I moved house and I forgot it. Yesterday, while I searched my old Game Boy in an old backpack, I found the game and I decided to try the game. But it's for DOS. I downloaded DOSBox, a DOS emulator, and I installed the game on the emulator. I made a screenshot of the splash menu image. It looks like a low-quality images with the name of the product, the copyright date, and the name of the creator, Tsuyoshi Toshimichi. When I pressed return button, I seen the real menu with 3 buttons. Start game, it doesn't work anymore. Load game, the game crashes. Options, a options menu can be opened. When I open the options menu, I see the other 3 buttons. Sounds, when I open it, the game is stuck on a black screen. Controls, the game crashes. Exit to DOS, close the game. I can't play with this game. I tried a lot of methods, but it's stuck on the main menu. If anyone can make this game start, contact me at kinjiromuro i8@gmail.com. Update number 1. One day, after I bought the game, I was back to the Japanese stall, but the Japanese guy in his stall had disappeared. This article was copied and pasted here from a Japanese forum because the original one was deleted. Sorry for my bad English. I contacted that guy and he answered, 'Dear Mateo, I had read your email and yes, a guy on the internet has contacted me and I decided to send him a copy of the game. I waited at least 2 months. Later, having waited all this time, he has contacted me with this email. Hi, I have created an executable of your game. It can be played from Windows without an emulator, but it isn't finished. Bye. Keep attention. The sounds in the game are a little troublesome and repetitive. Graphics are not of the better. The game does not have much sense. I have not played there very much, but it is a game which puts the anxiety. Tomorrow I'll give you a copy of the game converted by the guy, but now I can send some screenshots. Good luck. There was an enclosure in the email, a .rar file with some screenshots of the game. I'm waiting for the copy of the game. Update 1. Kenjiro finally sent me a copy of the game. I uploaded it here. I played the game, but I haven't completed it because in some points it crashes. However, there are various pathways and I didn't explore them all. I need help to complete this game, so feel free to modify this page and add all information you find. Update 2. I recontacted Kenjiro for more information and he sent me these 2 links. One link at toymakerreporting.com and another from the same website. The first page says the website is closed. The second requires a username and a password. I am searching for it, but with poor results. The case is still open. Update 3. I found out the username and password. Username, Lost Game Finder. Password, 195-885-91. Once the data is entered, you will find a white screen talking about a Windows port coming soon, along with 2 links, one that says Download Patched Game, and the other saying Ripped and Converted Files. Clicking on Download Patched Game calls for a new username and password that we have not found out yet. I remind you that the Toymaker that we downloaded says Toymaker Patched Beta, so this could possibly be a full version. Clicking on Ripped and Converted Files asks for a username and password, but this time they are the same as before. Placing them then opens up a link to some 3D models from the game.
That seems cool.
Well, there's the creepypasta for you. So, I began by checking out the screenshots for myself, and they were indeed quite strange looking, as you can see. Next, I clicked the first of 2 links. I was presented with a bit of Japanese text, so I can only assume the author's translation of the text is accurate in that it says the website is closed. I tried the second link, and sure enough, I was prompted for a username and password. While the author says the name he dug up was Lost Game Finder, game needs to be plural. I entered Lost Games Finder and a supplied numeric password and was taken here, and it reads as follows. Toymaker Windows 7 Porting Project. Here you can see my work with the Toymaker game. It isn't a famous game in Western countries, and it's only for DOS, but I'm trying to convert it for Windows 98, 7, Vista, and XP. 2 links also followed, Ripped and Converted Files, and Patched Game Download. Clicking Patched Game Download prompted for another username and password, but the first username and password I used previously did not work here, and I currently have no leads as to the correct name and password's whereabouts. The second link took me here, Ripped 3D Models, files converted from polygons, Level 1 download, wireframe live screenshots. Clicking the second link supplies 2 very primitive and basic screenshots, as you can see here.
Okay, that's
Clicking the first supplied a download to this folder. Inside was a single .obj file named Level 1. I opened this file in Notepad++ and was shown that this was indeed a real object file. So I loaded the file into an object file viewing program and was given this simple yet strange model. Its purpose is unbeknownst to me. Could this perhaps be some sort of key, or maybe this is like a top-down view of the map of the game? I wasn't sure, but my curiosity was definitely piqued at this point, and with hesitation, I decided to visit the download link for the game that the creepypasta author had supplied. I was taken to a mega download, and I downloaded this folder. Inside, I found a DAT file named DES, an application named DES, a Windows batch file named install, and 5 files simply named level 1 through 5. From long digs through the internet onto extremely shady and obscure boards, I have heard warnings that this game continues to run in the background and can only be closed by forcible means through the Windows Task Manager. Furthermore, I have heard that this game can cause your PC to exhibit strange behavior, such as its disk tray randomly ejecting itself periodically, or sounds from the game continuing to play through your speakers randomly even after the game has been closed entirely. I'm quite nervous on running this application, but I intend to play and shed light on this strange entity in the very near future. Until then, I'll continue to research and, in turn, hopefully prepare myself in some fashion for whatever the toy maker has in store for me.
Next video. So this is the toy maker entry 2.
So I decided to run the toy maker. Now, let me apologize for the large time gap between the first video and this one. I've been playing the toy maker, played through it countless times, and I've been left with more questions than I am answers.
Okay.
I plan to upload this as well as a final video documenting my playthroughs. I will now present raw and unedited footage of my playthrough attempts. Please be warned, while I will give a forewarning, gameplay does include some jump scares and some disturbing, horrific parts.
Okay.
As I loaded the program, I was presented with a title screen that had a strange image and some Japanese characters. Press return to begin. After pressing enter, I was presented with yet another quite crudely made screen that had the options to start the game, load a game, as well as game options. Load game and options caused the program to crash, so only new game was an applicable selection. Upon starting the game, I was given my first glimpse at this strange entity of a game. The music was repetitive, but so very chilling. Movement was simple with the arrow keys. The constant sound of my own footsteps mixed with the droning music kept me very much on the edge, and it filled me with a sense of anxiety. As I continued through a door, I happened upon a sign that read, "Do not enter, forget that place." Quite cautiously, I continued along. Ahead of me was a door which startled me when I opened it. I was in a seemingly never-ending hallway of stone. Repeating portraits lined the walls, but I couldn't make out what their picture was. A few loud banging sounds led to a jump scare, which crashed my game.
Oh, Jesus. Ow.
The face that appeared seemed to be a traditional wooden Japanese demon mask, alternating between smiling and frowning. After that, the game immediately closed.
Ouch.
Needless to say, my heart was racing at this point, but I decided I'd give the game another try. It seemed far too short for this to be the entire game.
Okay.
In my second playthrough, I was, for some reason, teleported to a room lined with what looked to be old floppy disks. Some of them were Wolfenstein 3D, and that was extremely strange to me, but I don't think that this is related to id Software.
Wow.
As I walked through the floppy disk hallway, I noticed black and white teddy bears on the floor with glowing red eyes. As I traveled, the walls faded into bright red kanji symbols. At this point, I felt like I was starting to get somewhere, like I was getting close to a secret, and suddenly, I was teleported back to the beginning hallway. My frustration quickly turned to fear as I found myself surrounded by blank, black figures. All stood still and never moved nor attacked me, but just sat, staring and observing me. I was well into the late hours of the night, and I began to feel a creeping sensation of anxiety, as if I wasn't safe in my own home, and I decided to end my play session for the night. I would return to dive into the depths of this game and uncover its truth the following day.
Next final video. So here's the final video called
This will be my final entry to the Toymaker entries.
Thank You for
I
tuning in.
decided to delve into the game and just give it one final playthrough and be done with it. Of all the strange things I've investigated before, this one is a lot more off-putting to me than most of them, but I cannot put my finger on the reason why. I began again at the beginning, as always, and searched about, trying my best to find the room with the red symbols again. After a bit of searching against the walls, I was able to glitch through the wall into a hidden passage like before.
The Japanese texts.
But this time, I met with much more horrific sights. A black, shadowy figure of a woman moved toward me, making strange noises. I got goosebumps as I saw what laid at the end of the hall. Another shadowy woman with red eyes stood still, just staring at me. Her purpose seemed unknown to me. I approached with caution until I touched her. She screamed, and I was returned to the title screen once more. I had to press on. I attempted to start the game again, but immediately, instead of the game booting, I was given an image of a body hanging from a noose. After a moment, the image seemed to glitch, and my game client crashed. I was pretty mortified at this point. It actually kind of seemed as if the program were threatening me, and it didn't want me to keep delving and searching around through the game. I wanted the truth now, though, more than ever, so I restarted the game. I found myself in the stone-walled room, again chasing shadows as usual. I seemed to be going nowhere until a pair of red eyes appeared and moved toward me. My controls locked up and I wasn't able to move.
God.
This entity, whatever it was, passed right through me, and my client once again crashed. If this was a warning, I wasn't heeding it. I started my client yet again. Once again, I started off in the stone halls, still searching for answers. I feel that the game had had enough of me and wanted to scare me off for good, or perhaps it was trying to show me the answer. A strange, disturbing figure appeared in the hall before me and just stared at me. Once again, my controls locked and I couldn't move. He suddenly darted away, and a message in Japanese characters appeared very briefly. I haven't attempted a translation yet. This message was followed by the hanging body again, then again in the red symbol room, but surrounded by the demonic teddy bears, and the demonic face flashed again at me, and finally I was shown a peaceful, yet somehow disturbing, black and white image of a bridge crossing over a creek. And then my client crashed again. At this point, I wanted more. I felt like I was really close to the end. I wanted to go back and try to confront that man in the hallway or figure out who he was, but upon trying to load up the game again, my computer told me that its files were corrupted and it couldn't load. So I went back to the creepypasta page I linked to before to try and download a fresh client, but to my absolute horror, the creepypasta has now been deleted. As creepy of a story as this would make, it's true. You can actually go and attempt to visit the creepypasta page, and you'll find that it's now been deleted. So did I stumble upon the end? Is the message and that image of the bridge at the end some kind of subliminal clue or answer, some kind of explanation? And with the page missing, Was I intended to be the last person to play this game? I'm sure the files are still out there somewhere on the internet, but it's so strange that the creepypasta is now deleted immediately after I get to this strange message and seemingly the end of the game. Either way, my investigation is over. I feel like this is a clear sign telling me to stop snooping around, so I leave it to my viewers now. Can you guys translate the message? If anyone is able to find the files out there again, let me know. I've presented all my findings of the Toy Maker to you, my audience. Make of it now what you will.
Okay, and there we go. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed me watching the whole of this. And you could check out the Retro Demon. I'm gonna put a link in the description to his channel. And please go watch Creepy Gaming on your own. Make a reaction of it. It's so goddamn awesome. And shout out to him as well. And yeah, like and subscribe. Share it to Google Plus, Facebook, or Twitter. And this gets uploaded almost a day before New Year's Eve. That's when I tell you guys Happy New Year and all that. And I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And Stefan's gonna tell me what he got for Christmas and all that. So yeah. And yeah. Peace.